What's up, everyone? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick, and I have more of my year-end list. This time we are going through 20 through 11. So we're getting down to that top 10. Can't wait to bring up those albums. But first, we're going to go through some more killer albums. So starting off at number 20, we have Mortiferum's Disgorged from Psychotic Depths. I absolutely love this album. I picked up their earlier demo/EP this year and really love their overall sound. This full length went above and beyond that. This is just killer death metal. Once again, from the whole Pacific Coast scene. I believe these guys are actually from Portland, which seems to be the hub of that. Awesome sound. There's a good blend of old school death metal and death doom on here. Lots of Morbid Angel and Incantation. Both bands I absolutely love. Both bands I've seen here recently. Killer release. I love this from start to finish. It is just dirty sounding and ugly, but surprisingly melodic as well. Great release. I look forward to hearing more from these guys. Awesome band. At number 19, we have Half of Rot and Ruin. This one kind of just came out of left field for me. I saw they were on Willowtip and decided to check out a video, and I absolutely love the sound. Very similar to a band like Black Crown Initiate, except there's a lot of straightforward melodic death metal on this too. The production on here actually reminds me a lot of Hypocrisy. Killer album. I recommend the song Currents especially. It is amazing. This is a debut full length from these guys, so I am looking forward to hearing more from them as well. High energy, tons of blast beats, lots of intricate technical riffing. Definitely different than a lot of the old school stuff that I have on here, but man, good stuff. Definitely check it out. Number 18, Musmahhu. I think that's how you pronounce that. Anyway, the album's called Reign of the Odious. This one I picked up way back in February, I believe. I actually ordered this from Iron Bonehead, which obviously this is what it was released on. And this is one of the best black and death metal albums I've heard this year. It is very raw, it's chaotic, nasty, gritty production on here. It feels like it was recorded inside a giant cavern. I love the overall feel of this album. It just feels flat out evil. Great songwriting on here. I think it's pretty comparable to a band like Sulphurion, which I absolutely love those guys. If you haven't heard this, definitely check it out. This has been one I've been spinning since I got it, and that was actually earlier this year, so it shows the staying power. Definitely check it out. At number 17, we have Spirit Adrift, Divided by Darkness. I absolutely love this album. It is fantastic. If you're just a huge fan of big riffs, cool guitar harmonies, it's amazing. It is a really good blend of both doom metal and sort of trad metal, and features two members from Gatecreeper, which, you know, that's another awesome established band. This also came out on 20 Bucks Spin, which had, again, a great year. This one was a little bit different in terms of a lot of the stuff on my list. I just absolutely love the songwriting here. These songs have killer hooks. Especially the opening track and the last track. Those two in particular, I absolutely love. If you love classic metal, if you love The Sword and stuff like that, this is definitely in your wheelhouse. Definitely check this out. It's just killer songs. At number 16, we have Baest Venenum. I think that's how you say their name. It's Danish for beast. Whatever. It sounds dumb when I say it, I think. Anyway, I love their debut album when it came out. I thought the song Crosshorde just pretty much instantly lit up my senses in terms of Swedish death metal and bloodbath worship. And I was eager to hear a second album from these guys. And when I heard this, immense improvements. Not that they were doing anything wrong on that first album, but they started incorporating a lot of old school death metal, namely death. Like, there are some death-type guitar harmonies on here that are absolutely killer, especially in the song Nile. But what really sold me was the song Gula. That is one of the heaviest tracks I've heard this year. The galloping triplet open chugs on there are just disgusting. It's slow, heavy, brooding. But this album is very varied across the board in terms of the stuff they go for. I like the blending of both Swedish death metal and kind of that Florida sound too. Excellent release from these guys. This is hopefully a band on the rise, because I want to see these guys tour the States. This is killer. Check it out, especially if you love Bloodbath. Definitely check it out. At number 15, we have Possessed, Revelations of Oblivion. One of the best comeback stories of this year, 100%. I love the fact that Jeff Barcera, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, so we'll just go with both. I love the fact that he came back to this and he found that passion for metal again after all that he's been through. And this was an absolutely killer release. This was, you know, the band that started the term death metal, maybe not the sound, but it was partially there. This picks up right where they left off. They didn't even skip a beat on this. Rips. This whole album is just killer. If you love your thrash metal, very heavy and bordering on death metal, this chances are something you already picked up, because I know a lot of people are excited for this one, and I definitely was, and it did not let down. Killer album, guys. Welcome back. At 14, we have Sempernal Dusk with Cenotaph of Defectuous Creation. I love this album, and this was one that came out a little bit later this year on Dark Descent, and it just crushes. This is one of the heaviest releases in terms of the whole Pacific Coast scene. I believe these guys are once again from Portland, because that's where death metal lives right now. Heavy. Oh my god, this is heavy. Kind of borders on Death Doom. It definitely has a slower pace, but there are some really fast tracks in here to break it up. Well written, well constructed. Lots of just evil sounding melodies, guitar harmonies, fiercely layered. This is an incredible release. I think it is definitely worthy of being on this list because just how raw and nasty it is. I absolutely love this album, and I still continue to jam it. Definitely check it out. Hopefully this is a band on the rise too, because I want to hear more from them. At 13, we have Enforced at the Walls. Crossover thrash is back. It legit is. This seems like there's a budding scene, especially around the DC area and Virginia. And once again, another kick-ass band has popped up. If you are a fan of Power Trip, you would fucking love this shit. This came out on War Records. I actually picked this up at the show they played here in Toledo, and they ripped it up live. This is just very groovy, very hardcore-oriented crossover thrash. Lots of cool squealy solos throughout there, and they just pretty much hit all those right riffs. Like fierce Slayer riffs, Exodus, but it kind of mixed that with DRI and SOD. There's such energy on this. It is just nasty from start to finish. Absolutely love this album. If you haven't heard Enforced, definitely go see them live. The CD is a good representation of it, but the live show is the perfect representation of what they are. Awesome stuff. At number 12, we have Allegaeon with Apoptosis. I love these guys. I love their pretty much straightforward Jeff Loomis worship sort of sound. I love that it's very technical, but very melodic. It doesn't really bother with polyrhythms. I thought it was interesting that every song here is in 4/4 time, but yet it is all technical play and just driven by tons of melodies. The only knock I made on the review was the fact that there weren't enough clean vocals, when they definitely showed that Riley can really sing, and he was definitely underutilized. Outside of that, I loved every single track on this. I'm pretty sure this is going to be on Shred's list, because he absolutely adored it as well. If you just want to hear ripping solos and cool lead melodies, but also well-constructed songs with good hooks, man, awesome album. Definitely check it out. And at number 11, we have Kripp Sermon, The Ruins of Fading Light. This is the best doom metal album I heard this year, hands down. Absolutely killer. I love how heavy it is, but how melodic it is. It has that sullen, dark atmosphere all doom metal albums should have. The vocal performance on here is absolutely killer too. This guy can really sing, but he adds a lot of grip to his voice. It kind of reminds you just a little bit of James LaBrie, but also of Ronnie James Dio. The riffs are heavier than hell. This is a lot of Candlemass worship, but also with a lot of their own touches on there. Definitely some classic metal in there. Key of Solomon. That's the track that really just absolutely got me hooked as soon as I heard that one. That is such a brilliant track, and the rest of the album is absolutely amazing too. Definitely check this out. If you're into doom metal, there might be a good chance you already heard it, but if you haven't heard this one, this is the best doom metal album that came out this year, hands down. Check it out. Alright, that does it for 20 through 11, so we are on to the top 10 in the next video. I can't wait to get to those because those are the big faves. So, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe because we do shit like this all the time. Catch you guys later.